Hey everybody. If you've never been here before, then welcome to the channel, and if you're returning, then welcome back. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today. So after before this I did a duelist run that I made into videos, and I decided to do Huntress next. I did a practice run on Huntress because it's been a while since I've played this class, and I actually got a seed that was the highest score I've ever achieved in this game running on this seed. So I'm kicking myself for not recording it, but I am going to go ahead and replay it. So understand this is a seed I've seen already, so it's not, I'm not trying to show off, oh, look how good I am. I just want to show off a cool seed that has a very playable Huntress set of items in it. So anyway, here's the seed, and I'll probably put that in the description as well. It's set there. I'm running with hostile champions and batter bosses, and yeah, let's go ahead and get it started. So the primary reason to play the Huntress is that you've got this this spirit bow that allows you to attack at range with infinite ammo. It's very good if you can get enemies far away, which is what you're trying to optimize your game plan to do most of the time as the Huntress. It's also kind of enforced by the fact that her melee weapon is fairly weak, and it has one kind of neat thing that it can do that I'll show off when I line up the situation to do it. But in general, you don't want to be using fast weapons in this game most of the time. If you're paying attention to like getting the surprise attacks on your doors, you don't really want to. You want to make sure that you're loading up as much damage as possible into those surprise attacks. And the fact that so with a fast weapon you get 2 hits per turn, but only one of them can be the surprise attack, so it's not as good as other weapons in my opinion. There are some uses for them. I think fast weapons can be cool on both warrior and duelist sometimes when you're playing, I think gladiator and monk are the any of the classes that build up a combo by hitting repeatedly, fast weapons become a little bit better on, but those tend to be more armor based anyway, so in my opinion at least. And that's just not the case with the Huntress. Okay, so what are we doing here? The other, besides the spirit bow that makes the Huntress ranged, the way that she interacts with grass is very important part of the kit too. So you notice that you can walk through grass without breaking it. That's really, really good for a lot of reasons. So you can use it to line of sight enemies pretty consistently, which is nice. Let's go ahead and let's see. So when you get the Chalice of Blood, excellent item, but you want to make sure you don't kill yourself with it. There is a wiki for this game if you just Google Shattered PD artifacts, and there's a table that will tell you the maximum damage the Chalice of Blood can do every time you activate it, depending on what level it is. So you see, at +0 it does 5 at most. At +1 it does 8 at most, so you can activate it again. And then at +2 it does 17 at most. So we might be able to, yeah, so if we drink our dewdrops, we can afford to do it. Now we have to be really careful for a little bit. But the natural regeneration from having Flask fairly upgraded is pretty decent, so it's not the it's not quite as dangerous as it looks that I just dropped myself down to that low HP. I mean, I could always have a some kind of hostile champion spawn on me and end my run right there, but it pretty quickly evens itself out. So yeah, there we go. We've got 10 HP, which is a comfortable amount, and we've also got another 4 in the flask right now, so we're probably not dying here. Alright, let's go to the next room. kind of bummed I didn't really get to show any of the good grass kiting stuff that Huntress can do. So the one of the coolest things Huntress does is you don't actually need to see your enemies to shoot them. You can... Oh, I forgot to... I should have taken follow-up strike there. You can shoot enemies when they're in the fog of war, which tends to be really good, because the enemy will move towards you when you shoot them from the fog of war, but you can still, you can shoot and reposition, and it will also do nice things like ranged enemies can't hit you. Alright, so, for instance, you see there's a rat here. We can hide behind this grass, and then just shoot through it where we know the rat was, and gun him down without him even seeing us, which is pretty convenient. And that also means that when the enemy reaches the tuft of grass you're hiding behind, it's going to give you a free surprise attack on it, because it came from out of line of sight. So we attacked early there just because I think the follow-up strike was going to wear off before we got to this door, and we really, really want that damage on Huntress, or on the gloves specifically. So Sandals of Nature can be a little bit dangerous to equip on Huntress if you don't know if they're cursed or not, because having a cursed Sandals of Nature is real bad. It will prevent grasses from dropping seeds or dewdrops, but since we've played this seed already, we know they're not cursed. We're just going to put them on. Normally that you would want to think about that decision a lot more than I did if you were playing this like as a legitimate run that was going to go onto your scoreboard and everything. But I'm just trying to make a cool video, and B, I found with the Huntress, like the way that I play the Huntress is very careful, which is powerful, but it's slow, which I don't think is super conducive to making YouTube content. So it'll save me a lot of, I don't have to spend time looking stuff up on the wiki, since I've done the seed already, and I know the relevant stuff to look up. So we're gonna see if that makes decent content. If it turns out bad, then I probably won't go back to doing custom runs, but we'll see. Okay, so here's something specifically only the Huntress can do. Because I'm standing in this tuft of grass, because I haven't trampled it, when I move to the right, that's going to put me out of line of sight of this snake and give me a surprise attack there. So I'll be able to guarantee hit him, which is pretty nice. The fishing that I'm doing here is also something... every class can eventually get to the point that they can fish for free, like I just did, but the Huntress starts the game with a weapon that can fish for free, so that's a pretty convenient part of playing Huntress. Probably gonna wait till our HP's down to like 17 or 18 before we eat, just to make sure we're not using up our food too quickly. Not using up our food too quickly, and to make sure we're actually gaining benefit from the regeneration of eating food. It's one of those things that always throws me off, because I think about starving. When I'm hungry in life, I eat, but I don't have an HP organ in real life, so that comparison doesn't really quite work for Shattered Pixel Dungeon. In Shattered Pixel Dungeon, the only point of food is okay, so far on this second level, we've gotten the golden and the turquoise potion, and we should actually explore the rest of the level first before we... and because I've played this seed before, I already know which potion is the purity potion, but in the interest of trying to at least mention the right way to do things as I'm doing them, or the the blind seed way to do things, I'm gonna try to stick to that. So, oh, we leveled up again. We'll go ahead and get that second point in follow-up strike. After the first point in follow-up strike, I think all of the Huntress's tier 1 talents are pretty bad early game, so you pick whatever you like. The thing I will caution you to watch out for, this talent, Nature's Aid, actually becomes really, really good in the mid-game or late game if you end up playing Warden. So I don't ever worry about picking that up as the first or second talent, but I don't like to completely ignore it in terms of spending all 5 of the talent points you get to spend at that tier. So, let's go ahead and eat some food. Collect all this stuff. And since we have the Sandals of Nature especially, we really want to make sure we trample every bit of grass, because oh, and we can actually already upgrade it. So you upgrade the Sandals of Nature by feeding in seeds to it. Now we're going to do this. So the first time you upgrade, when you go to the Sandals of Nature to the Shoes of Nature, it takes 3 seeds total to upgrade. And you want to, let's see, Fade Leaf. I should know what Fade Leaf does. That's I think that's the teleport one. We'll be able to test it pretty soon. But whenever you're upgrading, you always want to make sure that it is the last seed you feed to get the level up is the one that you're going to be able to cast from it. And you can always feed it another seed. Like, even when it's fully upgraded, you can feed it another seed to change the spell that it's casting. But I like to... That's an ooze trap, that's annoying. Okay, we just have this purity room to do, though. I prefer not feeding in the seeds until I have the right number to get all the way to the next level, just so I know I know when it's about to upgrade and I can plan around it, instead of trying to remember how many seeds I've fed at any point in time. I don't know. I'd rather just do it in discrete chunks. Okay. So, we've explored the entire floor, and we've only found the golden potion and the turquoise potion here. So this would normally be a 50-50 for which one is the purity potion. And since the Huntress doesn't start with the strength potion identified, you generally want to drink your first couple of unidentified potions anyway, just in case it is strength. Because I've seen the seed before, I know that the golden potion is the purity potion, so we're just going to pick that one. But even if I didn't know, you can always you can always bring that down to a 50-50. Or in some cases, like if 3 potions spawned on this floor, it would be a 1 and 3 to get the right one. The other thing that we know now, by the way, so we've finished both floors 1 and 2. The game gives you a strength potion every 2 floors, other than boss floors. So we know that one of these 3 potions is going to be a strength potion, and I think it's generally a good idea to try to identify your strength potion by turn 2 or floor 2, just because if you keep up with identifying your potions, it makes it easier in the future. Whereas if you have an entire stack of unidentified potions, I think it becomes harder and harder to efficiently identify them. So, again, seen the seed before. I know that the brown one is the strike in this case, so we're not going to waste it. But that is those are my thoughts on how you would do it blind. So, floor 3, as always, is a bit of a difficulty spike. The Huntress has a particularly hard time with this, as the crabs force you to melee, which most classes don't care that much because they kind of want to melee anyway, but the Huntress really, really hates being in melee range. The Fly isn't quite as bad just because it does such little damage, and it drops health potions to make up for the fact that you're going to take some damage from it, but the crabs can really be run-enders. And like a crab with a good affix before you've gotten a decent weapon can kill you almost immediately, so you have to be pretty careful about them. So we've got that Scroll of Rito. Let's go here. Oh, that's annoying that crab is like right behind that post. You know what we're gonna do? We're going to set up Oh, that doesn't let us set up plants. It just bursts a plant at the location. Well, the more you know. I'm pretty sure Fade Leaf is the teleport plant, so that will either let us teleport ourselves, or I think I should be able to use it offensively as well if I just want to send an enemy to the cornfield. Well, not to the cornfield, it just sends them somewhere else in the level, but it's an effective way to not die. And with the Huntress, it's actually like there's a huge difference between how well you handle a fight when you get the enemies at range and how well you handle a fight when you're already in melee range. So it's actually like you're not just kicking the can down the road by resetting a fight on the Huntress, the way you might be on like the Duelist or Warrior or some other class where you're mostly meleeing your enemies down. Okay, so we know that Knoll is there. I'm just going to shoot him from out of line of sight. And a trick, you can always, if you undershoot where the enemy is, you'll miss. But if you overshoot, so I'll shoot all the way up to the top of the screen. And it'll still hit him because, like, he's in the line of where I did shoot. So if you're shooting through the fog of war, always overshoot rather than undershooting with where you, like, target your cursor or target your I actually don't know how ranged weapons. I know this game is mobile, but I can't even imagine playing it without a mouse. So if you do more that's impressive to me. I don't think I could do it. Okay, so again, charcoal potion. We shouldn't be testing that. So I know it's the frost potion, but we shouldn't technically be testing it till we've discovered the entire floor, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. Ugh. And we're letting these flies spawn a bit because we really, really, really want a health potion drop. And the first health potion drop is significantly more valuable just because it allows you to identify which color of potion is the health potion. And we know that because the only thing on the fly's drop table is health potions. So there we go. Since a fly just dropped that potion, now we know for a fact that turquoise is going to be health. And that's both a convenient reason to let some flies spawn and also kind of a consolation prize for taking extra damage from flies. Okay, so let's throw that ration of food. So this is a trick to deal with giant enemies. They can't get through tight passageways, but they will still stay aggroed to you and try to get you. So you can, if you put an item on the door to hold it open, you can often just kill them through the door at range. But this one doesn't want to play nice. He should stay there now. Yeah, there we go. So that's generally how you want to handle giant enemies on the Huntress. No reason to let them hit you, and you can just shoot them through the door. Make sure that's not a mimic. What's our next activation of the chalice is going to cost 32 HP, and we have 35, so we can technically get another upgrade on that. If we... Okay, we've got the frost potion room and this key down here, and the downstairs is at the north, so we're going to go ahead and check the key room at the south first. And I think we're also going to eat as soon as... I don't want to eat immediately. Can I get rid of any of these scrolls? I can inscribe my cloth armor. Why not? What did we get? We got flow. Flow's actually it's not always useful, but I like flow a lot. I think flow is better than the other enchantments that are at that level of rarity. Especially for the Huntress, because the Huntress really, really benefits from being able to make distance on enemies, and having the option to kite enemies back into a water room is pretty strong for... Okay, so we've explored the entire third floor, and the only potion we got was the charcoal potion. So this is guaranteed frost at this point, and we can safely throw it at at that firewall, and we also are above the 32 HP to activate the Chalice of Blood again, so we're going to do that. And we're going to immediately drink from the water skin, just because 4 hit points is, it's a little bit spicy in a world with crabs on the floor. You know, a bad hostile champion crab spawn could kill us immediately, and we don't want that. Ugh. We also want to keep the number of seeds in mind. Once we have 6 unique seeds, we can upgrade the sandals again. In this case, I kind of want to wait till I have 7 unique seeds, because I really don't want to spend the Seed of Starflower upgrading the shoes. But we can in a pinch, so. And it's not like we're going to throw them away. Ideally, we want to save it until we can turn it into a Potion of Experience, so that we can also turn that Potion of Experience into Divine Inspiration, I think it's called. So, these Sacrifice Altars, really, really good to get early. They're like, if you get a solid early game weapon that's going to carry you for a while, it's probably coming from a Sacrifice Altar, in my experience. We've got a lot of flies here, though, so luckily we can always teleport away if we need to, so this isn't as dangerous as it looks. And also, again, the flies drop health potions. Of course, these dodge flies could really present an issue for me. I'm going to do that, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and they gave us a potion, so it's a wash. Or we're still safe. Get some more flies there. We made some distance on the fly because of that. So you notice there's a little tiny puddle of water there, and because we have flow on our armor, we were able to get some distance on the fly, enough to get a ranged shot at him. I really don't want to drag the crab all the way there, because the crab is faster than me. It's just going to deal damage the entire time I'm kiting it towards where I want to go. This slime, however, we're absolutely kiting that to, of course yeah, there we go. Alright, slime boy, let's sacrifice you to the altar of whatever deity wants to give me a cursed weapon. And we get an explosive sickle. These shrines also, they have a much higher than normal chance. So the weapon that spawns is always going to be cursed, but it also has a high chance of having, +1, +2, or +3 on it. I think it's something like 75% to have at least +1 on it. So they're usually worth doing for that reason. And again, because we've seen this seed before, we happen to know that the sickle has +2 on it. Oh, is that 1, 2, 3, 4? No, we don't have enough seeds to go up to the next level. So I happen to know that the sickle is a +2 sickle, which we're actually going to use that for the final boss of this set of floors here, once we get there. But we don't want to do that immediately. Oh man, we are getting real lucky on the health potion drops. This is, we're going to be able to get this chalice to +10 really quickly if we have this many extra health potions, because we can turn them into shielding potions. I really don't want to leave that candy cane here, so I'm going to go back to the chasm room and throw some stuff down to the next floor. Throw the quarterstaff. We are going to use the sickle, but not until... Actually, we haven't seen the ghost yet, so we probably want that for the boss. We'll throw a bomb down. If you just throw the bombs, you can safely throw them down the chasm. It's only light and throw that will cause them to explode. So you cannot throw down potions or honey pots, though. Those will shatter every time. I think we're gonna throw some scrolls down as well, just because we're gonna be going down there anyway. And specifically, when you're throwing items down a chasm into a boss room, they're forced to spawn in a tiny little area around the stairs anyway. So it's not possible or likely that I'm going to lose anything. Or, yeah, not possible that I'll lose anything throwing it down there. Again, unless it's a potion or a honey pot or something that breaks when you throw. So, alright, let's circle kite that dude. We could also flow kite him. So that's one of the nice things about the fast weapon, by the way. You notice there, I took my attack, and then I was able to move. What I can do now is I can shoot him through the brush here, which is going to be a surprise attack because he can't see me, and I still get another surprise attack. So that would, if he didn't die there, he would have moved through the brush directly towards me, and I would have been able to take another surprise attack on him with follow-up strike. So it's really powerful what you can do with vision plays like that on the Huntress, and you really, really want to be keeping an eye out for opportunities to make vision plays like that. How are we doing on? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could get to the next level of shoes now if we spent our seed of Starflower, but I'd rather wait till we get one more unique type of seed. I don't think we're that desperate to upgrade our boots yet. So there was an example of being able to so we got the surprise attack during the circle kiting, then we got a free move out of his line of sight where he lost us, we got a free shot on the enemy, and then another surprise attack when it came through the brush. So very, very strong for the Huntress to kite stuff around brushes. Yikes! We're actually going to... Do we have... No, we threw our bomb down the thing. There's probably a hidden door over here that this connects to, and I do not want to face tank that crab, so we're actually going to go around, I think, is the correct thing to do here. Ooh, we got a dirk. That's pretty sweet. If we didn't have the sickle... especially if we didn't have a sickle that we already happen to know is +2, the dirk would be our favorite weapon coming out of floors 1 through 5. Dirk, sickle are like the best two options in my opinion, just because they're the ones that surprise attack the best. Let's go through here. There's our ghost, and this is on floor 4, so it's gonna be the great crab for sure. I almost want to equip this dirk to see if it is cursed. Okay, so we remember that the sleeping crab was right on the other side of this door. So we're just going to start shooting him from out of line of sight, and hopefully we kill him before he gets to us. And we did. Sweet. It's always nice when you can avoid getting hit by a crab. They're very, very annoying. Okay, we got energy crystal, potion of strength. Go ahead and drink that right away. And then, let's turn one of our stones into energy. Normally I would do a seed there instead of a runestone, but specifically since I have the sandals and I'm trying to charge them up, my seeds are a little bit more valuable to me than they usually are. We're gonna see what trinket we get. The Petrified Seed is normally a pretty good trinket, but it's terrible with the Sandals of Nature because of how much more you want seeds when you're playing Sandals of Nature. I could technically get the Petrified Seed, leave it on the ground until I maxed out the Sandals of Nature, and then pick it back up for... Excuse me, I had to mute my mic to cough there. And pick it back up for a ton of runestones. But I tend to like the seeds a lot on Huntress anyway, so I don't want to do that. The Shard of Oblivion, it's It's okay. It's technically good to use. I just don't like. I think that the Shard of Oblivion, you have to work too hard for a very underwhelming payoff, is my take on it, so I don't like it. And then the exotic crystals are pretty decent, honestly. They can save you a lot of energy, and they're especially really good to use if you don't do alchemy a lot. Then playing exotic crystal will give you a reason to do alchemy when you see the cool things that the exotic potions do. But I don't really like it that much. I like having more control over which exotic potions I get. So we're going to try the random trinket. It is a trap mechanism, which we could make use of the trap mechanism, but I don't think I want it because I would rather have grass spawn than traps most of the time, is the real reason. So we're just going to go ahead and immediately energize that again. And we lost 1 energy figuring out that we don't want it, but sometimes that's how it be. I do actually want to... I'm going to energize 2 of my health potions, and then turn all of my Identify Scrolls into Divination. I think this is really strong to do early on, to turn some Identify Scrolls into Divination, just because identifying the items gets progressively easier the more and more you have identified. So if you start that identification snowball early, it pays dividends throughout the entire run to do this. And I got a lot of lucky health potion drops on the flies, so I think it's worth turning some of that into snowballing my... And see what a beautiful sight this is. Every single consumable in my inventory is identified right now. That is kind of cheating because I threw a lot of my scrolls down the pit, and now I'm going to have to go pick up all those on it. Oh, I forgot to... I did not kill the crab either, or do the Ghost's quest. I'm glad he's right there. Alright, Mr. Krabs. Unfortunately, too, the crab is a slow enemy, so if it's chasing you, it'll never catch up to you. Especially while I have the Armor of Flow. We got an unspent talent point, too. What are we going to get? We're going to get... I think both Survivalist Intuition and Nature's Bounty are both pretty weak. It's preference at this point, I think. If you're running on a diet as a challenge, then maybe it's worth getting the food instead of the slight increase to... Okay, what do we want to do here? We're going to put a weapon that's actually good at... Oh, and that's cursed. That's a bummer. And it's polarized. Okay, polarized is not actually very bad as far as curses go. Like, you still don't want it on, but it's not one that's going to seriously harm you if it triggers. And there we go. Crab down. Other crab. And we got a pretty easy kill on him as well. That's nice. I'm going to go ahead and grab the mail armor. Really, generally, you have to have a real good reason to use a spear if it's slow, because you usually have to augment it to make it fast, unless you want to die to enemies that are faster than you constantly. So we're going to grab the mail armor instead, and we're going to get a +1 mail armor. There's an argument for bumping it up to +2 to equip before... So when we get to level 6, where skeletons start spawning, if we go to level 6 with cloth armor on, we're going to take a ton of damage from the skeletons. So I think I actually want to bump this up to... Actually, well, no, that would take 2 upgrade scrolls. I take that back. We're just gonna run with what we have. I lied. All right, and let's grab some more of our stuff here and go and fight the slime man. So, do we have... Sweet, this tuft of grass. So with the slime, what you're looking for is just any tuft of grass you can circle kite around. Ideally with water nearby, so you can step into the water if you need to clear a a corrosive proc, but you don't want it to be on the or adjacent to the tile of grass you're circle kiting around, because that'll cause Blob to regen a bit of HP every time he gets to that part of the kiting chain. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the circle kiting, and then we're just gonna keep on circle kiting them. And now we're seeing Polarized come in clutch for goo, because we've gotten 0 rolls on 4 hits in a row. But man, this is actually in this case so much worse than the explosive that's on the sickle that we could have had instead. But so there we go. We're just gonna keep on circle. And you saw there I got hit by the caustic. You just want to, when you're in the part of your circle kite that's close to the water, you just we messed that up. Is there a backup piece of grass that we can use? Okay, so this piece of grass can kind of work. It'll heal him on every time we go through that part of the cycle, but I think this piece of grass over here should work. So we're gonna go for that. We're gonna shoot him to keep him interested, and then yeah, there we go. Now that should work. Man, this polarized enchant is hurting way more than I ever remember it hurting me. This is real bad. It's feeling like I've still got the starting gloves of terribleness equipped. I guess at least it hits for 15 sometimes. I should have just went with the sickle. I should not have tried to be fancy and used the dirk that randomly dropped from a slime. Don't trust weapons from slimes, kids. Actually, that's not true. Sometimes weapons from slimes are great, but we really got punished for trusting the slime weapon this time around. That is enough seeds to upgrade the shoes, so we're going to do that. I think we want to end on the haste seed out of this set, so we'll do that one last. And there we go. Now we've got them upgraded to Boots of Nature after 6 seeds, and from here we're just going to step on the rest of the grass. We're going to look for the rest of the grass in this floor and get our dewdrops and seeds that we're entitled to. I can't pick up the items that I left over there. And here there's no obvious pattern that shows you where the Rat King is on this spawn of the map, which is kind of a bummer. We know it's over. I know it's over here because I played the seed before. It's not super important if you miss the Rat King. Like, at the end of the day, I think it's no more than like 200 gold you're missing, more or less by a little bit. But it's not a huge deal to miss the Rat King. So if you can't find it, you don't want to take forever on it. But again, I've already come clean about this being a custom seed that I've seen already. So there's no reason for me to ignore the Rat King when I know where it is already. Alright, and let's see, we've got 6 scrolls, so we're definitely going to get a scroll holder. That's more than any other type of potion or ranged weapon. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I think I like it better to end the episode after I've done the shopping instead of before I've done the shopping. Just so I don't have to like start up, load back into the run and not know what I'm doing anymore. Pick up that remove curse scroll so that we can uncurse our polarized dirk. Hopefully we find some like a +1 or +2 or something on that. What else are we going to do? We're going to grab the darts. I think darts are just generally really good. Cleanse positive effects from enemies. May even briefly forget they're attacking or fleeing from you. So I'm not going to clean them off immediately. That can still be useful. It's almost kind of a shame that we identified the magic mapping scroll on our divinations. If you can buy the unidentified magic mapping scroll, it's a little bit cheaper, but once it's identified, it costs more at the shop. So you benefit from being able to figure out which scroll is magic mapping without actually identifying it. But we can't do that here, so we're just going to buy it. What else are we going to do here? Normally you would want this ring, and you would want to put more priority on the ring, but I happen to know that that's a ring of force that we're not going to be using this run, so we're just going to ignore that. And then let's go and grab those couple of items that we have space for now that we left at the beginning of the slime room. Sell him the quarterstaff. We're going to hold on to the mail armor because we will be wearing that once we get the first strength potion. I wish I had another... So I know the sickle is +2. I don't want to sell it because it's still worth removing curse, because the sickle will carry us up until probably until floor 11 at least. It's a pretty good weapon. But yeah, we're gonna end the episode here. I'm gonna go back into the Rat King's lair so that I can get the thumbnail that I want out of the next recording. But that's going to be all for this one. As always, if you guys have any questions about what you just saw in this video, or if you want to talk about it or comment at all, then I'll try to respond. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and have a nice night, have a nice day, whatever time of day it is for you.